he plays a lot of blitz online, but it's different on the board. Your hand has to get used to that speed.
Okay, and here there are
Sicilian.
An attempt to play another Sveshnikov, but
Russell.
no,
Rasalima.
no such thing.
Takes on c6.
For a moment, their hesitation. Should I play knight c3 and invite knight d4, or
Yeah, they
What
play
line am I
queen c7 here.
Bishop g4 is also playable, and g6.
But queen c7, what I like about queen c7 is that if the knight gets chased away, black is quite happy to get it all the way from f6 to a6 there, just to provoke e4, e5.
sorry, say that. b3,
No, not b3, but instead of b3, white had the option of playing e5.
e5.
And then the knight goes all the way to a6. Knight e5, knight b4, knight a6.
That is a funny route. Okay, here we go. Mainline Rasalima at this point.
B3 is definitely very rare. But we see Firouzja likes playing b3 in this event, even on first move, so he's comfortable with this setup.
Queen e2. Knight takes e4. Bishop takes g7.
yeah.
Knight takes d2. Bishop takes f8.
Yeah, white's up in exchange.
Up in exchange. Queen e2. Is he intimating, Peter, that he might be
I don't
castling?
think so.
It would be
No, I
quite
think it goes
risky.
short. Yeah. I'm very shocked, honestly, by king takes g7. I thought it was always going to be knight takes and then e5, f6, knight e6.
I think he wants knight to go to f4.
Knight f4, I guess, is very similar though.
e5 coming.
Don't play G3.
There's a pawn. He can't
pawn?
play e5. He can't play e5 right now.
So b6
You can
first.
play
g6 first. And still, I'm not allowing you
Knight
to
takes
play
b6
e5.
is threatening.
Hello.
Although maybe you can play f6, knight b6, knight g2, but then queen takes... No, knight takes e8. And, yeah, all the queens are hanging.
But I would play knight h3 check just to mess up your pawn structure a bit.
Party pooper.
Yeah, but I think we go rook b8, yeah. We go rook b8 and we chill for now.
Do we play g3 or do we not mind the knight on f4?
I'm more interested in knight e5.
Oh yeah, that is a very good move, followed by
Put-
f4 maybe.
Yes, put the knight, kick the knight back, and then play f4.
Yes.
But you're not worried about some b5? If your knights are defending each other, you might lose them?
So historians will call it courage.
Exactly.
At knight
You
e5.
have it on the board, so
I think the bigger issue is that after knight e6 and f4, black plays f6 and your pawn on f4 is vulnerable to attacks. I think that's the bigger problem. And if you go knight g4, after knight g4, many of your things are hanging as well. Although you could maybe go for some kind of all-in here with
f5,
f5, yeah.
I'll takes d3. You're threatening to take on
E4.
e4 with a tempo.
F4 is hanging as well. I think
This
White's
really is
only chance is to somehow quickly push the queenside pawns.
no question.
Ooh.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
A6 not hanging.
Knight e2 check on the board. Threat, sorry.
He's not afraid to leave those pieces unprotected. G3,
Knight e2.
and then
Bishop takes e4 as well.
E5 first.
E5
I like securing and really nailing everything down, playing E5 first. Although bishop takes E4 is really not a mistake.
And because there's always knight e2 check. Might be, sometimes it could be a race. Maybe you don't need e5 as much as you need d3.
Yeah. Good point.
Okay, but by the way, kind of provoking e5 ending. Oh, look at this. Again, tempo.
are we taking? No, you have to play E5. You're not.
Eventually you have to play.
Knight c3.
C3, very nice.
Knight c3. I mean, keeping the momentum. No.
And finally White gets to push one pawn past the equator. Past the equator.
Rook
Yes.
a8, maybe just slowing everything down a move. No.
There's a fork in the end.
Oh.
He's just very on point.
Very, very nice.
D3 now, and yeah, with the rook on G2 completely cut off and the pawn's broken up.
Rook takes d4 would have been met by knight c6, but rook d2 is going to be met by d3, and then we're just going to round up the a pawn.
Yeah. Rook c5 trying to stop knight c6, but
Yeah, rook a8, rook a6.
Like any move here is winning. Rook E8.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He wants to go maybe. Yeah.
Just
Rook
rook e6, and then eventually we will switch the knight on, and once the knight is, you can play knight e5, I guess.
Yeah, you don't have A6.
By the way, this knight might be heading towards g4.
And there's a handshake.
There you have it.
Wow!
26 and a half.
Finish it.
Wow!
Pretty good.
Let's switch to MVL.
He started in style.